The role plays are part of the speaking exam that you will do for your French IGCSE. So a role play is a pretend conversation between you and a French person. You're pretending to be a customer or a tourist, and the other person is pretending to be a French employee, for example, an employee in a restaurant or a theatre. Firstly, you'll have to do 2 short role plays for your speaking exam, but the cool thing about them is that the situations are all real-life conversations that you might actually have if you go to France, like booking a table for a restaurant or buying tickets for a concert. So practicing role plays teaches you useful spoken French for everyday scenarios, and they are an important part of the speaking exam at IGCSE. To make this task a bit easier for you, you get given a role play card which gives you exact instructions for the conversation. So what you need to ask about or what information you need to give. But it doesn't give you the exact sentence to say. That's what you have to do. You have to work out how to form the sentence which makes sense and includes that information. For example, the instructions might say, tell them that you want to buy tickets for the concert, or say how many apples you want to buy. But these instructions won't be in English, they'll be in French. So there are 2 stages to cracking the role play. The first is understanding the instructions, and the second is being able to communicate the information in correct French. The instructions will of course contain verbs in the imperative, because remember that's the verb form that we use to give instructions. So the sentence might start with a verb like ask, explain, or say. So now I'm going to give you a list of possible verbs in the imperative that you could come across as instructions. They're all from past role plays. I'm also going to give you the infinitive and the English meaning. So pause and have a look at these. Commander, demander, répondez, dites, saluer, remercier et poser une question. Now let's look at how we might then form a sentence using the instructions we have been given. So if the role play says to you that you are au marché, you're at the market, you know that the conversation's between you and the person working at the market. So the first instruction we've got is saluer le marchand. So greet the trader, the person working at the market. So you could simply say bonjour, or bonjour monsieur, or bonjour madame. The second instruction says dites que vous voulez acheter des fruits. So say that you want to buy some fruit. So you still need to be polite for this. So you could say je voudrais acheter des fruits s'il vous plaît. Let's look at some more instructions then for some similar role plays. So imagine that you are au restaurant, and the first instruction says saluer l'employé. So say hi to the employee. So again, a simple bonjour or bonjour monsieur, bonjour madame. The second instruction says dites que vous avez une réservation. So say that you have a reservation. Well, that's quite simple. J'ai une réservation. So although you get some easy instructions to begin with, they do get a little bit harder. So let's imagine we are au théâtre and you've already said hi and you've already said that you would like to buy some tickets. So perhaps you've said, je voudrais acheter des billets, s'il vous plaît. The instructions then might say, dites pour quel soir vous voulez les billets. So say for when you want the tickets for. So say literally for which evening, pour quel soir, vous voulez les billets. So you could just say c'est pour vendredi soir. Okay, you just have to think on your feet a little bit. C'est pour vendredi soir ou c'est pour samedi soir. Then they might ask, dites combien de billets vous voulez. So say how many tickets you want. Again, just come up with an answer. Je voudrais 4 billets, s'il vous plaît. Or if you want to show off a little bit of grammar, you could say j'en voudrais 4, s'il vous plaît. If you say j'en voudrais, that means I want 4 of them. And you don't have to repeat billet because the en replaces billet. Okay, it's just a pronoun to show off a bit of grammar. Now, the 2 parts of the role play that people tend to find the most challenging are when you have to reply to a spontaneous question. So a question that's not on your role play card. You don't know what it is until you get into the role play, and then during the conversation, they will ask you a question. You need to understand it, and then you need to reply to it. And then the other one is at the end, you will also need to ask a question about something. For example, say you're at the theatre, at the end it will say poser une question, and it gives you some ideas to help you. So go for something really simple. It doesn't matter what you ask, but it does need to be kind of related, and it needs to be correct. Like, is there a car park, or is there a restaurant? Est-ce qu'il y a un parking? Est-ce qu'il y a un restaurant? So to sum up, the role play is part of your speaking exam, and you get a role play card telling you what to do. There's two main stages: understanding the instructions, which are in French, and then forming your sentences or questions. The hardest part of the role play is the bit with the spontaneous question and the bit where you have to ask a question.